Hey guys, hi everyone. Good afternoon. Happy Labor Day. I am waiting for. We're gonna have a special guest on today, and I appreciate his patience because I am very late today, a little behind. There we are. Hi Daniel. I appreciate your patience today. It should be coming on soon. Did it work? Request to join. Accept. I clicked accept. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yes,
There we
yes,
go.
yes.
Hi.
Hello. We
Thank you for
made
your
it.
patience today.
We made it. We made it. I
We
love it.
made it. We made
I
it.
love it. I'm gonna start telling some people to get on that we're on live.
Okay, good.
So I'm sending it out to my audience here, at least
Yeah. And I'm
at
gonna
least the
call my
top.
yeah, let them know. We're about
Okay.
to just get into fun things. I don't know what's gonna happen today.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean, like literally, we haven't talked about anything. We haven't talked about what we're going to talk about. So this is
No.
like I'm completely just excited to see what happens.
Yeah, which I'm excited about because like I went over your website and things too, and I was kind of doing a little more of my digging because you got to do that with me and bring me on
I
to your
know,
podcast. So I
I
was
know.
like, now it's my turn.
You're like,
Um,
yes, I got this guy cornered over
right?
here. What am I
He's
going to
all my
ask him now? Yeah,
Well, I also too like I know I coach men and women, but predominantly a lot of women. And a lot of guys have so many questions, and women too. Women are stepping into like healing their trauma, but also how do I become a successful entrepreneur? How do I pivot in a time where there's a lot of inflation or a lot of things going on? How do I provide for my family? How do I become successful and focus on me while also it's what I do is dating. How do you do it all? So
well,
I
yeah,
feel like you
it's
have a
it's
lot of experience
exciting.
on that.
Yeah, no, it's exciting to talk about. So
I
I'm
know.
I'm ready to rock and roll. I sent it out to like let me catch a couple of other people. I sent it out to like 50 people right now.
Oh, you're
So
good.
let's
And
see if
while you do that, I'm going to call myself out on something. I'm totally using a filter today. Today's one of those days where like I'm so tired. I woke up and so I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning last night.
I
I was
love it.
finishing up my ebook and like trying to figure out my landing page and email automation because I'm using a different platform. So
Right.
I'm sure you know this as like when you're a business owner, you really do need to kind of know all areas. I have like people that are under me and help me too. And but a lot of times too, for me personally, I'm still working on being better at delegating tasks.
Right.
I am someone that like I edit my own things. I build my own websites. I build my own templates and email templates and all of this and like ebooks and this and programs and
Some
delegating.
somebody said take your clothes off.
Oh, really?
Is this just funny?
Already?
Hop hop 26. Yes, sir. Take your clothes off. Oh
I
my
think he
god.
was
So now
talking to
was he
you,
talking
actually.
to me? He
Yeah,
must have
I
been talking
think
to, he
so.
had to be talking
Yeah,
to me for sure.
I think
Definitely.
it's one of those where it's like, I
So
mean,
yeah, I don't know. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm so sorry,
oh
but
no, you're
I just
good.
I've never done a live before where they've asked me to take my clothes off. So because that's one thing that
You
that
haven't lived.
exactly.
You
I haven't
haven't lived.
lived exactly. I'm not. We're definitely in different spaces. That's for sure in our
Yeah.
journey. So
Oh my.
I love it.
Yeah, it'll get wild in here. I mean, for the most part, for me with my lives, there's some good ground rules. I got a lot of amazing people that like they come on, they ask a lot of questions, they have Q&A. Yeah, Brahms. Hey, what's up, Brahms? So yeah, so everyone knows the deal too. If you guys have questions, so Daniel is, if you want to talk about a little bit of like, what you do and what you love or the things that you love talking about. Because while I've dug in, I'd love to see like what things do you actually love? Like what brings you joy that you love talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I started a financial services company when I was 21 years old. Yeah.
You're
And
supposed to
so,
be drinking.
you know what?
No wonder why you didn't have a live that said take your top off. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
seriously. But see, I got all my drinking done like between 14 and like 21. Okay. So I was partying
Okay.
early. My
Okay.
best friend, his parents used to have this recreational room, and I would go spend the night at his house, and we would sleep out in this, little recreation room with a pool table. But the one thing that it had is it had a full bar, like a complete full bar inside of this room.
Oh,
So
that's
there was
dangerous
two
for a teenager.
14-year-olds that were very curious and very a little bit crazy, and so yeah, we used to party. So yeah, I know you did it too. I know you're a little bit on the crazy side too. So
Oh, 1000%. I'm definitely, when guys are like, how do you get a woman that's, that used to be toxic? Does that exist, or can women heal? I'm like, yo, I used to be that toxic female. It's like,
right.
you can find women who like are great and adventurous and all the things, but like healed and without the toxicity anymore. Like, it's possible. Okay, so why on earth did you go from like drinking, partying, doing that? What happened to you that you went, you know what I should do at 21? I should help others with financial, should become a financial advisor.
Yeah, I mean, it was perfect. So I had this buddy of mine. That he was one of my drinking buddies too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
So
this is going to work out well.
Yeah, exactly. And so why I ever did it is beyond me. But so he tells me about this company that they're looking for great people, and they're looking for people to learn the financial business. And it took me like 4 months. I mean, he kept kind of just talking to me, and I kept telling him no, kept turning him down, kept giving him excuses. And finally, I just said, you know what, I'm going to go check it out. And I went and I looked at this opportunity, and they were telling me all the things that I wanted to hear. It sounded like all bullshit. Okay, it sounded like a total scam, total pyramid, total like this is just crazy. But there was something in my gut that said, look, I mean, I hate school. I never liked going to school. I didn't want to go to college. I never finished college. Only reason why I went to college was because I wanted to play baseball.
Okay.
And so, so I looked at this chance to change my life, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see what happens, and we'll go from there. And that's over 25 years ago now. So yeah, I've been doing it ever since. I mean, I built an organization I have 1,500 licensed agents in my organization. I have 55 locations. We have, we've helped a lot of people become successful in their own journey within the financial space, and it's been a really positive thing. I mean, I tell people all the time, it was kind of like it was a self-improvement process with a big compensation package, and I just said, you know what, I got nothing to lose, everything to gain, and I tried it. And so thank God. I mean, yeah. My best friend, another one of my buddies, he was my best friend. We did everything together. He told me it would never work. He told me to stay in school. He told me to, do all the things that our parents tell us to do.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I have to try. I just have to try, because I'll never know if I don't really try. I went for it, and it was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I mean, thank God I've built a, really nice net worth, and been able to be free. I mean, literally since I was 28 years old, I've been free. I have not had to work for money since I was 28, and now I'm 78, so it's not bad.
What?
You know what I mean?
No,
so
you were not.
I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. Of course
I'm not into plastic surgery, but like, send me the details. Like, I'll reconsider now.
You want my green drink?
Whatever
recipe?
Yeah. Do you actually do that? Are you into like health and all that? I feel like you are. No? Or what do you do?
Totally. Oh yeah. I just literally had a green drink this big. My housekeeper, she makes. She's been making it for me for years and years and years. But it's like this, it's huge. It's like one of those Starbucks 32 ounces or whatever. And yeah, exactly. It's bigger than that, actually. Bigger than that. Big, like the
All right, what's the recipe? Let's let everyone in on this recipe. It's the secret to health and wellness, and it'll change and cure all your problems, this green drink.
Absolutely. And it's the easiest thing. And I got it from it's Netflix, right? It's that movie Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dying.
I remember that. So I
Remember
have to
that?
say too,
Yeah.
before you give that recipe. So actually, what I'm drinking, although I did put a shot of espresso in it, because sometimes I do that very rarely, but I actually drink Rise now. I've gotten off of caffeine. I'm very rare on it, and like I'm very big in like alkaline, low acidic diets, low FODMAP, because I've destroyed my system. And what a lot of people don't know is when you don't care about yourself, it manifests in the way in what you drink, what you eat, what you put in your body, who you're sleeping with, what you're sticking yourself into, and what you're putting into yourself there too. And what happens is you can destroy yourself, cause more fatigue, make it more difficult to amount success, difficult for peace and ease. So food is actually like when you do start taking care of yourself, you'll start noticing the way that you eat and the way that you treat yourself and what you're putting in your body changes. But I used to have huge, like really bad ulcers, and I watched those documentaries and I learned how bad like our food system is, certain things in our foods. We don't ban a lot of foods in America. It's a free for all. So it can be a little bit more difficult here to get your organic, and even then that's over here, and preservatives, getting away from preservatives. And yeah, so I'm huge on that one too. So you watch that documentary, and then what?
And then I just started drinking it. It was like, I mean, it really changed my
Healthy, not
system.
alcohol is healthy, not alcohol.
Yeah. No,
I was
I
like,
knew what you
forget
were
this.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And so, I mean, it's simple, right? It's ginger root, green apple, kale, spinach. You could put coconut water in there or regular water, celery. What else do we put in there? Lemon.
Ooh.
Um,
Is anyone
and
taking notes?
she
Write it down.
blends it. She blends it, and it just comes out and we don't even juice it because
Yeah.
I like all the fiber still in there. And
Yeah.
even though
Yeah.
sometimes it's not as tasty or not as easy to drink, but she strains it though. I think she strains it for me, so she
Yeah.
takes a lot of the extra junk, but it still has a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
And it changed my life. But the other thing I did, which this is going to be a big deal for a lot of people, is I did the 5 strands test.
What's
Where it's called 5 strands. You can get it on Amazon. It's a DNA test, and you take 5 strands of your hair, you put it in this little box, send it to the lab. They test your DNA, and then it comes out. Then they give you a report, and it tells you all of the shit you should not be eating that fucks you up. Right? I had stomach problems my whole life growing up. I mean, I remember as being a kid, and I'm laying on the floor, just like my stomach's all messed up. And then, you know what I found out?
What?
I'm not supposed to be eating pinto beans. Specifically
What?
pinto beans. Now, there's a lot of other things too. I mean, that's not the only one. But I'm half Mexican.
Yeah, you
and
should
so
be able to eat
grew
that.
up. I grew up with pinto beans.
Yeah.
I can live. I should tell people I live on bean and cheese burritos. And guess what? Like literally, I mean, when I was growing up, that was my go-to snack. I had frozen burritos. I would make regular burritos. It was like I was a burrito. Everything was a burrito. And and then 5 years ago, I take this test, and then I'm going, I don't have any stomach problems anymore. Like I'm perfect.
Wow. Listen,
yeah, it's crazy.
I have to tell you right now, like you are a godsend, seriously, because I've got some other things that I'm doing, but like I've destroyed my system, right? I don't even know what I knew I was allergic to. So after I had ulcers 10 years ago, knew I was allergic to bread afterwards because you have to reintroduce your diet. I cured my ulcers with like diet only, because the pills were like the prescription pills they wanted to give me. The side effects were stroke, heart attack, and possible like death. And I was like, what are you giving me? I was like, I'm not comfortable taking this. And so that's when I started doing the documentaries and learning about that. But stress, if anyone doesn't know this, when you are stressed, and it does happen a lot, especially in our day and age with what's happening, we are sensationalized a lot right now. a lot of things in America, and I studied this back in PR, are very like, you got to do this or you're going to die, or everyone's going to die, your neighbors are trying to kill you, or like everything. And when we do that on purpose, and when we keep people in fear, you're more likely to buy the things you don't need to buy, get really sick, go to the hospitals, pay all the money for the insurance. Like you do the things that you don't really need, but also you really deplete your body. I'm someone that, like, I grew up with, I have like trauma and stuff that I've gotten to overcome. And that's why I coach what I do too. And why, you know, getting out of your fight or flight response, especially when making decisions in business. I have a client that like was not doing well in crypto. I don't understand anything about crypto, but I taught him how to process his emotions, and he's making 6 times the amount that he used to make, just because he's not making decisions based on an emotional high.
Right.
They all coincide. Wealth, health, success, and relationships all are mirrors. So recently I was dealing and battling with my own things, stepping more in my worth, healing more. And what happens is, when you're anxious and when you're not processing your emotions, lowering your heart rate, doing the things that bring you joy, stress, it spikes your cortisol. And when you spike your cortisol, it makes it very difficult to lose weight, to sleep at night, to function in relationships. So anyway, I wound up like, I've been literally on, like, lately having to dive into my diet again and heal some things. And I have no idea. All of a sudden what started happening is I was eating, this was like a few months ago, it started happening, started eating some foods, and out of nowhere, stomach blew up. And I was in so much pain, and I had no idea. Still, I have an idea of some of it, no idea what's causing it.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, you're going to do this test.
Oh,
you're
love
going to
it.
you're going to call me up, and you're going to go, it changed my effing life, because it's like a report. It's like a report, and it's like red, because remember, all we are is energy. This is a scientific process, right? Our bodies are just one big science project, right?
Yes.
And so whether
I am an experiment.
Exactly. Whether it be the mind or it's the body, like, I know now. Okay, I know I'm not supposed to eat mozzarella cheese. Now I can eat. I can eat. I know it's crazy, but I can eat the yellow cheese, or the whatever, the orange cheese, right? The cheddar cheese. I can eat that cheese, no problem.
Okay.
But I'm not. It says specifically mozzarella, so I love like little wood fire pizzas. It's like one of my favorite all time. Love. And so I just know if I go out, like, I just know that I'm probably my stomach's gonna get a little bit irritated.
It's not gonna do the best.
But at least I'm not. But at least I'm not wondering what the fuck was wrong, right?
Right.
At least I'm like, okay, I know what I just did.
I made the decision. I did this to me. It was me.
To myself, but it was worth it, because I love that shit, you know. But it's like, you know, I don't know. I'm just saying, look, I was in business. Well, I'm still in business, but I was doing training classes twice per week, okay?
Yeah.
For over 20 years. I never missed in over 20 years, other than one time I had vertigo, right. So my brain was all messed up. But other than one time, I never missed. Twice per week, met with groups of people. You name. I mean, I shook. Wow. You know how many hands I've shaken in my life, man? I mean, the sweaty, nasty hands. Yeah. Sometimes when you shake them, like, you just know, you're like, this is a sickness waiting to happen. When but you know what? I never freaking get sick. Even now, I never get sick. But even through the years, I never got sick, and I really believe it was because I was really good about my portions of my food.
Yeah.
I was really good about, like, the smoothies and green drinks. Even before that, I was still doing smoothies and things like that. I was always very good, because I think a lot of, especially guys, have this, like, it's built into their psyche, their psychology. Like, I gotta have 3 double-doubles, a milkshake, and 2 things of French fries. And if I don't do that, then I'm a pussy. This is literally.
This is a man.
This is a man. This is what a man does. And look, I consider I think I'm a good man. I'm a protector.
Provider,
I used to get in fights when I was younger. I mean, I can protect myself. I'm a fighter. I'm not like some, wussy guy or anything.
Right.
But let me tell you this. I could have a regular hamburger and I could have water and maybe half of a French fries and I'm fine. Like I'm fine. I mean, it's like, I don't feel, but I think that there's a lot of guys and maybe even women out there too, but I see this, especially guys, like we feel like we just got to eat and eat and eat and eat until we're full. And eating until you're full is one of the worst things that you can do to make yourself sick. And if you're a parent, by the way, if there are parents out there, stop telling your kids to eat all their food. Like, there's starving kids in Ethiopia.
Oh,
and if you don't eat your food, and so you're mentally messing these kids up.
To not listen to their bodies.
To not listen to your body. Like, if you, I don't even think you should be eating to get full. I think you should eat till you're satisfied, or you should eat until you feel like, okay, I feel good. I mean, I ate, leave it on the plate.
Got it.
I'm done.
I do not need to, because here's the other thing too. Because by the way, that saying never worked on me as a kid because I had a bleeding heart. So when my mom would say that, because she did try, because I'll be honest, I was a really picky eater. I wouldn't eat red meat. I hated red meat because I just didn't like it. I was a fish eater. Okay. If you put a lobster in front of me at the age of like 8, I could down like 1.5 pound, 2-pound lobster. It was like, it's insane what I can do. I love it. It's the one thing I'm like, don't look at me when I'm eating my lobster. Like, look away. Right. But there's certain things, but I was a very picky eater. And so it was very like, getting me to eat. And I was always a little waif. But I just ate and was satisfied. So my mom tried that. Hey, there's starving kids around the world that, can. And I would look at her and with so much honesty, I'd be like, why aren't we giving our food to them then?
What a great answer. What a great answer that is.
She didn't know what to say about that. Because I was like, if they're starving kids and I'm not hungry, like, why are we giving them the food then? Like, I'm so confused. Give them mine. Here's mine then. So it was very like, now, don't get me wrong, years later, I've had to work on, and I am a coach, putting others ahead of myself. And that is my next, like, I'm still in that spiritual lesson currently of getting better about that. But
that's totally normal. When you're a coach, when you're a teacher, when you're a mentor, like it's just ingrained in us. Like my daughter, like right now, my daughter she's not the happiest with me because I'm a coach and I'm her dad. Right. So like, I love her more than anything in the world. So, but she can't stand when I'm like, Ava, this is what I recommend you do. And I think I say it in a nice way.
But you're the dad.
But I'm a dad.
You're the dad.
Like, you can't coach your kids anymore, though. You can't coach them.
Okay, I like this. So here's the thing about relationships and being a coach. For those of us that like you had to pull yourself out of things like from 14 to like 20, you're noticing your life's doing this and that. There are those of us too that's like, we've gone through certain things, or we might have been in childhood and saw like all of the things that aren't okay, toxic relationships. So a lot of the times too, we grew up very fast, even though there was addiction and trauma or stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. So we grew up in areas or things where like, you had to coach your parents, you had to parent your parents. And then what happens is you wind up in these relationships outside of you where people are constantly going to you for advice. So even in my own relationships, I've had to switch off Coach Natalie, because what happens is in my personal life, I'll wind up picking people that need coaching and should be a client, not a partner. You know what I mean? And or even like relationships with friends and family members where I'm going in and I'm offering suggestions that were not asked.
Okay.
And what that does is it takes away their lesson, because if you take away someone's lesson, you take away their blessing. But anyway, you get a question. What?
Well, no, I just like, where does it become like, what's the balance of I'm giving advice because I love this person,
right?
And them thinking that it's just trying to coach them or tell them what to do or control them. You know what I mean? So give it to me. I do.
Okay. By the way, this is one that I mess up on. And like sometimes my coach or my spiritual advisor will call me out and be like, what's your intentions with that you're doing right there? And I'm like, I'm trying to manipulate them because I want a certain thing because I have an expectation. Okay, fine, I won't do it. So the first thing first is pause, breathe, and check your intentions. What are my actual intentions here? Am I uncomfortable with what they're doing and I'm trying to change it? Is there something in me that I need to change then? Because most of the time when we change something internally or when something's triggered in us, it usually means an area to heal first. And ask yourself, why am I uncomfortable with this person's journey? Because I too had to overcome my own stuff to learn what matters to me. Why am I not comfortable with this person's journey? What am I afraid of? Am I offering this person something or saying something because I'm secretly in fear? Okay, then boom, there you go. Am I saying this because it's a suggestion and I care about this person, or is this coming from a place of fear? So we process that first and kind of go, what's going on here? The other thing is this. The next one is then how you proceed is, if it is something where it's like, no, I see this person's hurting, they're doing the same thing over and over again, what do? What you do is when they bring it to you again, you ask permission first. You say, hey, I'm hearing that you're saying X, Y, and Z numerous times. Do you just need to vent it and you'll figure it out? Or would you like any suggestions here? When they feel like it is a choice and they actually are going to ask you and say, you know what, I could use a suggestion just on this, then they're more likely to take it because they've been the one that made the choice and the decision to actually receive it. Versus oftentimes, and it happens so much in relationships, when you're just inserting yourself or offering a suggestion, no one asked. Some people just need a vent. Some people are just talking things out loud, and it's on us that like you feel uncomfortable with someone's emotions. You're trying to change someone because you're uncomfortable, so you're trying to make yourself comfortable. That's what I learned because as an empath, I can feel someone, especially when I love someone, especially when you care about someone. When you feel them, you feel their pain, you feel their journey. And my God, when you have kids too, I don't have that experience. I have it with like sponsees and programs and my clients and also my loved ones with my family. When I see someone I love going through pain and I know that journey, oh my God, I want to take away all of their pain. And I used to do it in coaching, but that was because I was afraid and I was taking away their lessons, which if my pain was taken away, I honestly wouldn't be sober today.
So is it just better? I mean, would you say that it's just better just to allow them to just go through the journey on their own and then just have no expectations, no kind of, but
pick and choose on that. Obviously there's going to be times too where you go, hey, I love you and I care about you and I don't give a flying fuck if you're going to be pissed at me. What you're doing there is killing you and you need to do X, Y, and Z, and then we'd set a boundary moving forward. You're doing this, or I can't allow this under my roof. Like there's things like that for sure, but for the most part, our job, especially those of us who are empaths, a lot of us that are artists or that have overcome a lot and are coaching others to do the same, we do have high empathy. So usually that's what that does, is that help. Our job is called to bear witness to others that are going through similar journeys and allowing them the ability to make mistakes and know that they're safe to make mistakes. Let them fearlessly make mistakes and fall on their face so they can feel inside when they're off and when they're on. Because if you give them your solution, they're not going to know how to listen to their own. They're only going to learn to be dependent on others.
Right. So you just kind of sit back and you go, okay, all you enjoy, no expectations.
Right. I'm fine. Great choice. I love that choice. That's going to be, you're
amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. Whatever you're doing is right on. And just keep doing it.
That's not going to hurt. You know what else?
Love you.
Okay. Sometimes with my sponsees, this is what I do. If I know that they're going through something and it's a spiritual lesson or spiritual test, that's what I call them. For those of you guys who aren't like spiritual, the way I look at it is like, whenever we're going through something and we've learned like, okay, no more toxic exes. I've learned my lesson, no more narcissists. The universe kind of goes, okay, here's another narcissist to actually see if you're like going to do it, because we'll walk towards it to test ourselves by accident, or not by accident, subconsciously. And then that way, when we like actually say no, now boom, you've stepped into your word. So anyway, so when I've got my sponsees, for instance, and they're sharing something with me, they're about to get involved with like a toxic situation, or they're about to like cuss someone out, or they're going to do something, And I already know this. I've already done, right? We've done it 1,000 times. I've learned my lesson the hard way on that one. I have the answer. I've got the cheat sheet. But that's not my job to give you the cheat sheet. I had to learn my cheat sheet. So, because it helps us with our purpose. If I don't know my pain, I'm not going to know my purpose. I'm not going to know when things matter to me. So sometimes on the phone with my sponsees, I'll hear something like, I think I'm just going to get with this guy, or like, I'm just going to get with this job, or I'm going to quit over here. And I'm like, okay, so listen, dealer's choice on this one. Option A, you can listen to your sponsor, you can listen to me, and we can kind of figure out the spiritual lesson already, and move through it. You can already kind of learn from my mistakes on this one, because I actually did this several times, and this one's a bitch, to be honest. You'll heal. You'll be fine. But option A is I can give you the answer on this one, and we can kind of pass through some pain a little bit faster. Or option B, you're going to go through this. You're going to be fine. There's probably a spiritual lesson in this, or a lesson that you're going to learn on this one. It's going to hurt like hell. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have a new experience. But you can do it, and we'll do that, and I'll walk with this. I'll be side by side with you as you walk through this one. Which one would you like?
Beautiful.
And there's been some times where my sponsee has gone, you know what, Natalie, on this one, I need to learn my own lesson. And I'm like, okay, then we got this, and I'll be right by your side while we do this. And then there's other times where they'll be like, nope, A, I want A. Like,
and this is that I just think it's a tricky thing, you know. It's a tricky thing, because I think the reason why I say it's tricky is because in my journey, if I look back at my journey, and one of the things that I learned early on in my life. Now, again, this is business. It's not really a relationship, so it's a little bit different.
Right.
I think, you know, what you're saying, these are maybe two conflicting different situations. But when I went into business, Natalie,
yeah,
I got to be honest with you. I looked at the guy that was making millions of dollars, and I looked him in the eye, and I told him just like this. I'm like, bro, I'm 21. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I want to change my life. I'm making $7 an hour right now. Okay. I'm living in my mom's basement, basically. Okay. So, I want to do something great with so I just want you to tell me what to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do everything that you tell me to do. I have no ego here.
Right.
Because I know you know what you're talking about. You're the guy here, right? You're the person that's going to change my life. Like just tell me. Like, don't sugarcoat it for me. Don't try to make me feel all warm and fuzzy, because if you do, then I might mess it up, and I don't want to mess it up. So just tell me what I got to do, and I'm going to do it. And I swear to you, as God is my witness, I swear to you, in 3 years, I was making over $100,000 a year. Within 7 years, I was making $500,000 a year in passive income.
Wow.
And I had $1 million in cash saved. I had $1 million saved in cash that I was, you know, of course, I was practicing what I was preaching. But this guy had been in the business a long time.
Right,
So
exactly.
He knew what he was doing. So I do think that some people in the world, they have to be good at recognizing when it's manipulation,
yes.
like you said, when it's manipulation, and is it for their benefit, or is it for the manipulation, right? I mean, is it like, if you're giving me advice, right, you're a relationship coach. So if I'm getting relationship advice from somebody like you, I go, okay, well, you know, she's pretty smart. She kind of knows her shit. She's been doing it for a long time. You know, she's got a little bit of good stuff there, you know. So I go, Natalie, tell me what I should do in this situation. Yes. And then I go, okay, well, she doesn't want anything from me. She's not trying to get something out of me. So why not just listen to her as the coach and allow myself to receive it, and just fucking do it and get it right. Do it. And then be great and be amazing and fucking change my, you know. So anyway.
Wait, while I
that's
grabbed my
where,
charger.
yeah.
Here's something though that I heard that I think is really important though. And also something that you and I talked about last week when we were on your podcast is what's interesting that you mentioned, and also it doesn't have to just be with money. Like for instance, you mentioned that like, you know, your children are going to get to grow up in a world where they don't have to worry about like, you know, making ends meet and struggling financially in that way. Like that is a good thing. However, if you did notice, everyone's got their pain, everyone's got their journey. Money doesn't matter. We're all on this path. So here's something that I really like that you said, that I noticed. Most of the time, often, when people are getting to me and coming to me, not only that, in my own journey as well, and why I'm at where I'm at, and also at you, when you hit 21, you're making $7 an hour. If you were making $20 an hour, would you have been as desperate to go to that guy and say, teach me because I don't know what I'm doing?
That's it. You're totally right. You're totally right.
You were in enough pain. I think a lot of times we fear pain, and right now what's happening is there's over prescriptions on numbing ourselves. The escapism, what you were mentioning before about overeating. A lot of people are taught that if you have emotions, to shove them down with food, to overwork. Overworking is awful. You're less. So many studies, by the way, I was working under people when this study came out, and I've been in the wellness community for a very long time, and I have a degree in it. It's already shown that 5 hours a week, 5 days a week, 9 to 5, burns you out and actually doesn't produce as much as when they did studies for years now, 4 days a week and a 9 to 5 doing that, and sometimes even less. When you have more time to rest, restore, and rejuvenate and actually enjoy your life, you are faster, you are sharper, and you need less time and effort because you're crashing less. You're way more in it. So there's other countries already that have adopted the 4-day work week because you're getting more done in a limited amount of time, but you're actually experiencing more joy. We don't do that here. Here we want people miserable because you're going to buy more things. You know what I mean? That's why I do the best that I can to teach people how to, like, no matter what circumstance or situation, how to listen to your intuition. But it's because when we get into enough pain, that's when we change. We don't change when things are okay. We don't change when things are complacent. We don't change when we're blind. We'll keep doing the same confirmation bias over and over and over again. So as much as, like, you know, my heart breaks for how much pain there is in the world right now, it still does. I have to be careful with how much I ingest. I know how many of us that are out there that are also making effective changes and healing our own stuff, because it's literally when we get into enough pain, you're more willing to, like, do what it takes to make the huge impactful changes. That's when you're about to do a cognitive shift. That's when you're about to overcome that mountain. That's when it's like the most powerful things happen when you're at a bottom.
Totally agree. I totally agree. I mean, this is everything. I've been talking about this for 25 years, is that I was at a place in my life where, I mean, if I didn't make a change, I was going to live an average and ordinary life. And I never wanted an average and ordinary life. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. I wanted to make impact. I wanted to do something fantastic. What's up, Nando? How you doing, brother? And I think that was for me, the thing that really changed my life, changed my mindset, was me deciding that, look, if I don't change something, kind of like, you know, the guy that sleeps on the bed of nails. I mean, eventually you're sleeping on a bed of nails. I mean, eventually you're going to get up and go, this hurts, man.
This kind of hurts.
Like, this hurts. And I got to get up and do something else. I need to get another bed. I need to change my position. And I think a lot of people, we get stuck in this same pattern, you know. Our life, I mean, just like trading, by the way, trading options or trading stocks or investing, right? Everything is patterns. And it's the same thing with our mind, right? It's all patterns. And we just keep doing. We get up in the morning, we do the same thing. And it's like, so how do we change that? And I think that, I think for me at least, the pattern for me, I made that change by saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I gotta do something about it. And I did all the uncomfortable things, like anything that was uncomfortable. Like when somebody tells me, well, I'm not comfortable doing something, that's why I don't want to do it, is because I'm not comfortable doing it. That's
right.
a big red flag for me, right? That's a big, like this person probably is not going to be the best recruit. This person is probably not going to be the best partner in business, blah, 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 because this, you know, when they're not willing to challenge themselves, you know, it's like that last rep when you're working out, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's like sometimes you gotta dig down deep and you gotta go one more time. Like, it fucking sucks. You hate it. It's terrible. It doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
And you just do it one more time. But then when you're done, you're like, oh shit, that feels good.
Look what I
Oh my God.
did.
Look at what I did. I did more than what I thought I could do. And so everything is, and by the way, I'm working on my second book. My first book is called Wealth on the Beach.
Yes.
It's on Amazon, by the way. Anybody can get it. And also, I have Audible. So if you guys, you know, some people might not like my voice. Some people might like my voice. If you like my voice, then you'll like the audiobook, okay? Because the audiobook is awesome, by the way. It really is cool. And but no, but I'm working on my second book, and it's how to have a badass mindset. I haven't completely figured out. I haven't figured out the exact title, but it's going to be a series. What I'm doing with the book, the first book is Wealth on the Beach. I'm going to write 11 more books.
Yeah.
And they're going to be
11.
Each chapter of the first book is going to be a new book.
Oh, I love that.
Series. It's going to be a series because you only could do so much in that first book, and everything was very limited. So, but the first chapter is on mindset. So the first book is on mindset. And so what I did, what's really cool, is I'm taking all of these amazing people, sports athletes, people in business, you name it, and I'm talking about their stories in how the chapter applies to their story. Like, you know, when you talk about mental toughness and you know, so I talk about like a Tiger Woods, or I'll talk about it like a Serena Williams or somebody like that, where it's like the way that these people live, Natalie, it's different the way everybody else lives.
It is.
It really is.
It is.
Like they try to stay away from sugar. They try to, you know, they're working out consistently. They're working on their mental capacities, right? I mean, all these things it's just a different world when you meet these people.
You know, I could say this though too. I think though, if we were to relate it all, everyone has different core values, and everyone has different on why they're on this planet. So there are those of us that are on here because we are made to affect change. There are those of us that also are on here because what matters to them is like family life and connection. But I feel like those people value like discipline and success and like right. So it's that's the different value thing.
Same thing with the family though. Same thing with the family person though. Like if you look at a really good father, right? Like I consider myself a badass dad.
Yeah.
I've always considered myself.
We got to talk to your daughter. You got to ask your kids on that one next time. I'd be like, "What do you?" No, I know they'll say yes.
What do you think about your dad? So,
they're like, he gives us too much advice.
I know exactly. Yeah. Oh no, they'll have lots of bad things to say about me. Trust me. But
which is good.
I
That's a good
consider
thing.
myself a badass dad. But I think like if you really think about a badass dad, you think about consistency. You think about discipline, coming home at night, right? Yeah. Being with the family, doing the things that you're supposed to do. I mean, their whole lives growing up, or at least they're, you know, I mean, you know, some changes have happened over this last couple of years, but them growing up, it's been an amazing journey. Yeah. And I just think that looking back, you're right, what you're talking about. The person that works out every day, I don't think that everybody needs to work out every day and be disciplined on not eating sugar and all this kind of stuff. But if you want a certain result. Exactly. But also like if you want a result in your family life, in your business life, in your entrepreneurial journey, right? you're gonna have to have some of those core values
Yes.
that
Oh,
these
yeah.
people, just maybe in a different way,
Yes.
but the
Yes.
mindset is the same.
Yes.
The mindset, it
The
says,
mindset.
I don't care about what you think about me. I'm gonna go get the shit done. I'm gonna go make it happen. That's it. I'm just gonna do it now. So there you go.
And for
There's
my people pleasers, I get it. That's part of our journey as well, is like mine has always been like, I want to do this, I want to do this, but are you okay with that? Is this
Yeah.
okay? Is this okay?
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting, we all have things to overcome. Wait, you said something that I thought was really, oh, you know what you reminded me of too, is like, earlier too, I'd never seen this before. I didn't know about this. But I first saw it when you mentioned about listening to your body and allowing your kids. So, you know, my brother and I grew up in a, you know, we had dysfunction in our home, a lot of it. Love my family, but we're nuts. But actually watching my brother step up as a husband, a father, and an amazing brother, our relationship, we had some toxicity in our own relationship, but because I changed and I did the internal work, my relationships changed. My brother did the internal work, his relationships changed. Our relationship is so solid. We still have fights, but I watched as like my niece, for instance, which I don't normally talk about like family on stuff too much because I try and protect them too, but I can talk in generalities and I'll share that. It's something that I've noticed too. That I'm like, I very much so value the safety of like my family and loved ones. And if they want to be on things, then I allow them to have that choice, like, you know, on my social media. But until they have that choice, I won't. So I watched as like my niece was eating and I didn't know, like, I want to make sure that as an auntie, I'm spoiling the ever-loving fuck out of her, because if you think I'm going to tell my niece no, you are out of your mind. She has the world at her feet and she is everything, and I love her. But I also want to make sure too that I'm abiding by what the parents are doing too. Like, that's their family. That is my brother's home. That is his castle. That is his stuff. And like, granted, I'm not going to lie, I am the older sister, so sometimes I insert myself and I don't practice what I preach. I mess it up sometimes where I offer a suggestion without being asked, and I have to say I'm sorry when I do that. So I watched as though she was eating, and I wasn't sure, like, hey guys, how much should I give her? Like, should I put more on the plate? And they were like, oh, we like to let us know when she's done, so that she can tell, like, you know, where, like, if she's hungry, if she's not. And obviously they're not going to let her, like, she stands by the snacks and goes snacks. You're not going to keep doing that. Like, there's
limitation
in there. There's
yeah.
limitation, right? There's boundaries.
Right.
We'll call them boundaries.
So
There's boundaries
how
in it.
good are you about saying you're sorry? Because you said that sometimes you have to tell your brother sorry. How important in a relationship is that word, or those two words, I'm sorry? Is this, like, what are your thoughts about that? Is it important?
I would say this. I would say that the words are important to acknowledge it. However, I would look at it more as like being able to hold yourself accountable, and being with others that are able to hold themselves accountable is paramount. You need it, because a relationship is going to show you your mirrors. When you have kids are also designed to bring up the rest of your wounds so that you get the more healing, and you're learning from them as well too. Every time I coach, I'm learning more from the interactions on things, because I'm saying things and sharing things, and I'm also like, oh yeah, that's right, it's something's coming through me. So we are here to learn. So when I'm in a relationship with someone, family, career, otherwise, romantic, they're going to mirror in me areas that I'm still working on, because I'm projecting my wounds out there. I'm projecting my healing as well. I'm projecting my insecurities, and I'm projecting my securities. So when something happens and I'm triggered and I'm bothered by it, that's a me ass thing. That's a you triggered something from my past. So if I don't work on that, I'm going to wind up unloading on you with the zhuzh and the heat from 40 other people, and you don't deserve that.
Right.
So I'm good. And as a human being, and I always say this, I say this so much, our job is not to be perfect. Our job is to find the people that we're safe to make mistakes with. We're going to, this is life. We're learning new levels, new devils, whatever we want to call it. So it's really paramount that this is really important too. Words are great, but if someone's just going, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. You said this and that made me react this way. No, now that's someone that's actually gassing you and putting it on you and putting the blame on you. And also you want to look and pay attention to, if it's something where they're constantly saying, I'm sorry, but the same thing is being done over and over and over and over again, you're with the wrong person, or you have some work to do because you might be doing something that is out of alignment for yourself. So it's big on this. It's you want to make sure that when there's an apology, it's actually authentic and there's a changed behavior. And that way, when you are saying I'm sorry, it's not just, hey, I'm sorry that sucked or whatever. It's, hey, what I said affected you. I was hurt by what we did. I should not have put you in that position. I should not have said what I said. I should have paused more there. I acknowledge that. In the future, can we pause a little more? Like, I noticed that when we're talking about this, I get really heated. Can we do better here? You know, what do you know, can we work on a solution here? That way it's like,
powerful.
hey,
it's powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I just, what I always remembered, and this, again, I was like just this punk little kid, you know, reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, by Dale Carnegie, you know, and I always remembered, it stuck with me through all these years, it has to be quickly and emphatically. You know, it's like when you say sorry to somebody, and this has helped me because I've had so many relationships through the years,
right,
like in business, you know, really, but the way my business always was run is that I was seeing these people all the time. Like, I was going to lunch with them. I was going to dinner with them. We were having potlucks. We were, meeting clients together. We were doing everything together. And this is what really helped to grow my organization. And I just remember that when I would screw things up, which you're going to, when there's thousands of interactions, you're going to mess things up. Nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect.
But for me, it really helped that I always tried to leave my ego on the side and say, look, I messed up and I apologize quickly and emphatically. And this, I think that, it made all of the difference.
Sometimes you can do that if you already know that you're down to make the changes and the changes necessary. I actually would advise against that if you're in the middle of a relationship, just because relationships can open up our hearts a lot more, and it can happen in career too. If you are not ready and your ego, because like you said, you learned how to smash your ego, and you've already learned in those circumstances how to be faster at it. So for instance, for me and my brother, it used to take us days before we apologized. It used to take us a month before we apologized. I used to be like, I ain't apologizing for shit, motherfucker. Can't fuck me. I don't think so. You ain't gonna catch me. Fuck you. I'm right. But as I've grown, but that's because in family dynamics too, we all have the same buttons. And family dynamics is generational.
Were you drinking in some of those arguments? Were you?
Oh yeah, drinking? Like those were like 8 years ago. Alcohol was involved. I'm like, yeah, oh yeah.
Exactly. No, I get
or
it.
hungover. But even now, even as a sober woman, like it can still, because here's what's going to happen. There are going to be times where if there is a mistake, that mistake might trigger something that is extremely painful. And or let's say someone does something and they didn't do anything wrong, but like I got triggered and maybe I make a mistake or I do something, I might not be ready to make an apology because I need, when I approach you and when I'm with you, you deserve me healing that first and doing the work around it so that way when I come to you, it's steady. It's already neutralize the emotions because I respect the apology. I respect the interaction and I respect and value our relationship. So I'm going to do my due diligence and actually going in, finding out why I made that mistake, where it's coming from, because you're just triggering a response in me that's something from the past. So me sitting here and emphatically apologizing, I don't even know fully what I'm apologizing for, and it might wind up happening again because I haven't done the work. So I make a mistake. We're heated. We go, you know what? I need a timeout. I need to pause. I need to take a walk. I'm going to go and I'm going to journal. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know when I'm going to have the words. Now, as I've done the work faster and faster, it won't take me as long. And I'll be honest with you, my brother sometimes is faster than I am at being the one to go, hey, what I did there wasn't okay. I didn't like this and we got to work on this. But this here was like, I own this one and I'll work on that one. I can see that. And you know what I mean? And that shows me that like, I don't always have to be Because for me and my dynamic, what I needed healing on was I was constantly the one that was the peacekeeper and the one that apologized for everyone else's bullshit. I'll apologize for you and understand you at the detriment of myself. And I'm peacekeeping and I'm making amends and I'm doing this when I don't have to. There are going to be some times where like you are going to use your voice and feel bad about it, but that does not mean that you should apologize for it. That actually means that it's like, I feel uncomfortable with this. I feel like I'm making a mistake because I did something that like this person is now mad at me, but hold on, let me pause here and honor my emotions and honor what's coming up. Let me take it to my vetting system, journal on it, meditate on it, pray on it. If you don't believe in God, that doesn't matter. You can literally just talk it out and like go, what am I supposed to be learning here? Where is this coming from? Journaling it out helps you access your subconscious mind so you can find out, was it a boundary I set? Was I just using my voice? Do I actually owe an apology? Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said right now? And you're doing this vetting system and now you're neutral. Where is this coming from? This emotion, why is it here? And now all of a sudden I'm going, oh, I know what's going on now. He said this thing, or this person said this thing, or this woman said this thing. And it triggered me because my mom used to say that to me all the time. And it feels so dismissive and it breaks my heart when I hear it. I don't think that they know that they said it or they knew what they were doing because I asked them not to. All right, let me neutralize this first because I honor and I fill up my own cup today. I handle my emotions. I process my emotional needs. That way, when I come to you, I don't need your validation. I don't need anything from you. Now, when you do give something, I'm able to receive it and it's a beautiful thing. For instance, and I'll end with this thought with this. Have you ever had it to where someone was asking you for something or needed something or apologized for something, but was secretly needing more validation, needed you to constantly give them affection? You felt like you were giving and pouring and giving and pouring, and it was like a fucking bottomless pit. Oftentimes, the reason why is because if we're not filling up and meeting our own emotional needs first, I'm going to accidentally look for you to be my father or my mother or my God. And I'm going to need because I'm not doing the internal work first. That way, when I come to you, it's cherry on top, icing on the motherfucking cake. We're good to go. This is a team. So as a teammate, I'm going to do my due diligence so that way, when I come to you, it's honest and authentic. And there's going to be effective change. And we're going to get to grow together as a team. Hey, I noticed me as a teammate, up right here. Give me a second. Oh, I fucked up because this reminds me of it. Oh, okay. Let me feel that to heal it. That's from my mom. That's from my dad. I got it. What do I need in this moment? You know what? I'm going to take a walk for a second so I calm my nervous system down. Then I'll have hey, by the way, are you free in 10 minutes to talk? Great. 10 minutes later, hey, that came from my mother. You didn't deserve that. I can see where I'm going to work on that and do this and this in the future. Thank you for, allowing me to just be messy right now.
Is that for real though? Is that for real?
It's for real.
Would you really do that? Would you really do
that? Oh
that?
yeah.
Okay,
I do it. I do it now.
I have a question. How many, and I want to get, first of all, I want to get everybody that's on right now. First, tell us where you live. Give us some comments here, right?
I'm so sorry, guys. I've been talking. Hi, community.
We literally have not said a word the entire time, but that's okay.
I've been waving at some people.
No, we got a couple of comments. Thank you, Caesar, for your comment. But tell us where you live. I'm curious to know where everybody lives.
Germany. What's up?
Germany. Awesome. I'm also curious as to what you thought about what Natalie just said right now, because what you just said right now is so unlike most human beings that I've ever interacted with in my life, because I don't know a whole lot of people that do that, because I understand when you say sorry, but to say it like Bulgaria, nice.
Bulgaria, awesome. Hey, Alex.
By the way, if anybody is around, if anybody's around on September 8th, it's a Friday. If anybody's around the Newport Beach area, I am putting on a small mastermind. There's only 40 spots available. A small mastermind in Newport Beach. And we're going to be talking about options trading. We're going to be talking about financial services. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're going to be talking about flipping. We're going to be talking about leadership. We're going to be talking about sales. And so if anybody, please DM me at Daniel Alonzo if you want more information. But there's a couple of spots left, not a whole lot, but I'd love to meet some of you in person. So go
Yes.
ahead, Natalie.
I don't know if we wind up getting cut off after an hour, but if we do, we'll jump back on.
Okay, yeah,
Just so you know.
problem. Yeah, no
Because
problem.
I saw
No
that
problem.
happen one time. This is amazing.
I love it.
Okay, so this is honestly what I coach. For those of you guys that are joining and you don't know me, I see some of my clients on here, and they could say this. This is I've learned this. I've learned this from other people. This is what I practice. This is what I preach. This is what I do in my daily stuff. And to be honest with you, this is what my brother does too. My brother's like learned his own shit. I tried to insert myself with my brother and give him like, you should do what I do. It doesn't, everyone, the information that I give is, you can Google it. You know what I mean? It's just that the way that I give it is going to affect certain people. That's why not every coach is for everybody. You find who you receive the information from. Oh yeah, and put your information in there, and let me see if I can pin it. If you want to do like a one that and everyone go follow Daniel too, so that way you can get the information.
And I just want everybody to know too, like, I mean, I answer all my DMs, you know, myself. I mean, I'm easygoing, and so but anyway, I'd love to meet everybody. So
oh my God, yeah.
Hi, you know?
That's why too, I was like, after you and I talked too, I was like, oh, we have to do a live, like a bunch of lives. I was like,
so
there's
much
too
fun.
much.
Yeah, this is so much fun. And we have like so much to unpack. It's like, we have so much to unpack. It's like, it's almost daunting to think about what we have to unpack.
Yeah, well, because for me too, like it was very difficult when I started my own company to actually figure out what I was going to be doing when it came to like, how am I going to be marketing this? Because the way that you process information is, and it is, a lot of what I do is mindset shifting and mindset perspective and it's NLP, subconscious programming, our neuro-linguistic programming, our programming from childhood, and what we're programmed with is how we kind of receive and perceive the information and what you wind up. So the biggest thing is when you learn how to process your emotions, you're not going to be emotionally ruled by fear. You're not going to buy the extra shit you don't need. You're going to wind up having healthy relationships. And to be honest with you, I do coach a lot of men. Like I've coached over 1,000 men all over the world. My dudes do this shit and it works. And I'll literally hear them go, I cannot believe it. I paused this woman. I wrote down my stuff. I came to her. I set a boundary and she respected it and did X, Y, and Z. And now, we're seeing it more and more, this ability to go, it is a lie, just to jump into this. It is a complete and total lie that men and women have difficulty communicating with each other. Everyone has different communication styles. All of us do. The reason why men and women predominantly have bad communication is because when you like someone, you are opening up your amygdala. You are opening up your fight or flight response. You are opening your heart up to all of your fears, all of your traumas, and all of your insecurities. And when someone says something and you like them and it triggers an insecurity, the first thing that goes when we are in our amygdala, when we're in our reptilian brain, just like in war, is hearing. You lose your hearing. That's the first thing that goes, because when you're in a state of war and there's bombs being dropped and you're at the like, ba, 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 and I'm in fight or flight, you don't need your hearing. So that's the reason why it's difficult to communicate. So the first thing I coach on any of my clients is how to process your emotions first, to drop from your amygdala back to your prefrontal cortex, so you're back in logic brain. And how we do that is by like lowering our heart rate, meditation, deep breaths, deep belly breaths in your stomach. And what was difficult when I started my own company was everything is a mirror for your subconscious and your healing and your next journey and your success. And it's like relationships mirror what's your block in career and family and success and money. And it's all, so it was like, okay, I'm a life and dating coach. You know what I mean? Like what's your block? I'll unblock. I'm an unblocker. What did someone call me? Shadow worker, light worker. I've been called a disruptor. I'm a disruptor. I will take your limiting beliefs and we will crush the ever-loving shit of it. Because for me, I'm like, I know what it's like to have nothing but pain, and to overcome that. And I really do believe that everyone deserves that opportunity. So that's my goal.
Real quick, Caesar had a question. He said, what's one piece of advice you would give going through a divorce?
Ooh, okay. Number one.
What's one thing you would suggest for someone going through a divorce?
Yes. Have you gone through?
Yes.
You have.
Yes. Yes.
I'll share one, but then I would love to see like what's something that you wish you did differently, or something that actually, let's do it this way. What's something that you're really proud of that you did through your divorce? Because I'm a coach, I can see it. The number one thing through a divorce is, first, number one, identify what was the issue for the divorce. And that's what you're going to start working on. You're going to start working on with a therapist, a coach, whatever it is. It could be that you have a broken picker. It could be that you pick a narcissist. It could be that you yourself get triggered and lose your shit. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I've done all of it, so I don't judge. I'm an ex-drug addict and alcoholic. Like, that's why my clients come to me, because I'm like, what did you do? And okay, that came from your mom and your dad. Boom, here's your solution. Let's go. Here's the other one. Do not jump back into dating. You will wind up exactly with the same woman you just divorced. Do not jump back into dating yet. If you need a little validation because you were with someone that was awful, made you feel like shit, made you feel like you weren't a good person, made you feel less than, made you feel ugly, then by all means, what I want you to do is, you're going to style yourself. You're going to get something nice. You're going to buy yourself a nice suit. You're going to go, and then you're going to allow yourself to be seen. You are only allowed, you can do whatever you want. I'm just trying to help you with option A, avoid pain.
Okay.
Here's the suggestion. Write down a list of 5 people that you are completely safe with. Go to them only right now. Right now, we need safety. We need to feel like there's people that empower us. Do not go to anyone who's an asshole, who's judgmental, who puts you down in any way. I want you to write down the 5 people that you're actually safe with. And those are the people that you're going to get to lean on if you need to. You're going to only go to them when you've got issues coming up. Get a therapist through this. And then when you're going out, like, make sure that you're checking in on your emotional state first, so that way you're not fucking your life up further, dating the wrong person, getting drunk, getting involved with another narcissist or whatever. And make sure that it's like you're starting to cultivate your body feeling a sense of peace. Here's something else too. When you're going through a divorce, there's a few things that's going to feel like a death until you finally sign those divorce papers. One, you're going to feel elated when you do finally make that separation. If it is something that you wanted to do or needed, you're going to feel this like weight off your shoulders. However, once those divorce papers are finally signed, then you're going to go through the 7 stages of grief, and you'll feel like a death or a burial, because your brain was mapping out an entire life with this person, and that deserves respect, because your brain doesn't know the difference between past, present, or future. So it really thinks that like this was your end all be all. And now there's a cognitive shift because now it's not. So that it takes time to actually go through, after the papers are final, the 7 stages of grief, and to allow your body and your mind to grieve this person, even if they were toxic. That's it. I'll shut up on that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, look, I mean, I'm very proud. I'm very proud. By the way, just so you know, and this question just came up from Caesar right now. So that was for Caesar, but kind of for me too. I've been separated for a couple of years.
Oh yeah.
And so we've been separated for a couple of years. We've been divorced for a little while, but I've never talked about this, by the way, ever. So you're the first person that I've ever talked to about my divorce. Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
There's a lot of people, by the way, Natalie, probably people that are following me right now that might be watching. They didn't even know that I was divorced. Okay, this is how much I never talked about it, because I wanted to keep everything private. You know, that was important.
I get it.
And we also still have a business together, so we still run a business together.
It happens a lot.
So what I'm very proud of, okay, is that there's things I'm not proud of, and there's things I am proud of, but I'll start with what I'm proud of. Okay, let's start with that. And so I'm proud of that. When we started going through this process, I wanted to do the whole conscious uncoupling deal. You know, that was very, very important to me, because I studied this shit. I watched videos, I read books, I just knew, because we got together when we were 17. So we were together at 17 years old.
My goodness, you grew up fast.
So
okay.
17 all the way. So we were together 30 years, and we were married for 22 years. And so yeah, this is a huge. So Caesar's saying thank you too much
Yeah, I
to
see
you.
that. Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that going through the conscious uncoupling, if somebody's going through divorce, they need to understand what that is, because it allowed us to continue the relationship. And of course, I did not fight about money. There was a lot of assets. There was a lot of money involved. We did not go to lawyers. We literally did not go to lawyers.
Okay.
Because I'm a financial guy and I'm not an idiot when it comes to money. Okay.
And
I said, fuck the lawyers. I'm not gonna give all my money to the lawyers. And I literally told her this. I said, I am not going to give my children's future money to some lawyer. And I said, we got to be in agreement with this, because we came, both me and her, we came from nothing. We had nothing, started out in this journey together. We built a company together, and it was, I mean, we both made a lot of mistakes. We think about it. We were kids growing up, building a company at 21. So by the time we got to 21, we were building a company, and we were fighting at 21 years old. And I'm like, I want to change my life. I want to do something great. She was a Cancer, which she was very, very like introverted, more extroverted. And so we always said that. And she always said that we were complete opposites, right? Everybody says opposites attract and they're so perfect. Well, I don't know if I'm big on that. I think Paula Abdul, she didn't get it right, in my opinion.
Right.
The opposites attract.
Yeah, right. We actually, what's interesting is it's rarely an opposite. It's usually the same coin, opposite side, but it's the same coin. It's typically we attract in that which we need for the next level.
Right.
So.
Right. And we did need each other at that time. We really did need each other at that time.
30 years.
I'm so proud to think that, I was able to raise my kids, almost till 18. My son was 20 and my daughter was 17 or whatever.
Wow.
So, but at the same time, I'm very, very proud of that. And so, obviously, looking back, I think that there's many things that I would have done differently. Number one, I probably would not have worked, like we should have ended the business relationship a lot sooner.
Okay.
Right? We should have got out of business together, right? I mean, stayed married, of course, but like we should have just said, like, I'm not going to ask you anything that has to do with business. I don't want to know, because in some of the people that are watching, they might know this. I'm talking about a lot of stuff I've never talked about before, but we were literally the partnership board of directors for our entire company, like 150,000 people, right?
Yeah.
And so we were kind of that role model of partners that were working together in business.
Yeah.
So we were like what it was supposed to look like, but
it's a lot of pressure.
On the inside, it was a lot more difficult than probably we had divulged to the world, right? I mean, because to me, working with your partner, it's so much more complicated than most people try to make it. And even I'm guilty of that, right? We made it seem fun and easy, and it wasn't fun and easy. It wasn't good sometimes, because when I asked her, like, for example, okay, and we talked about this the other day, and you said, this is from the childhood, right? So I would ask her, I would say, hey, babe, I need you to take care of this paperwork. I just got out of this appointment, closed this sale. We just made a few $1,000s. Yeah. I worked so hard on this client. I fucking killed it. Did a great job, closed it, man. We're rocking and rolling. And then I would give the paperwork to her. And then 2 months later, I would find out that none of the paperwork was processed. And we lost the sale, and I look like an asshole because the client looks at me like I'm a dipshit that didn't get my shit done, right? And so now it's like, it's World War fucking free, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't, and again, it wasn't the first time that it happened.
Right.
It happened once, and then it happened again, and it happened again, and again. That's why I was kind of like about the I'm sorry thing. You know, it's like you said, yeah, you could say you're sorry, but if you keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Oh, I'm about to blow your mind on something though, too, though. That's
tough.
Well, I'm
tough.
gonna insert this one.
Yeah.
Can I insert really quick?
Give it to me. Give it to me. Yeah, give it to me.
So this is the biggest thing. Everything in our lives we can take ownership of. Although there are certain things like that happen to us that just they're not your fault. But there are certain patterns after a certain amount of time. Like there's certain patterns that like now we take ownership of our lives. I do not believe in going, it's my fault. It's my fault. It's just about taking ownership. You knew, especially after 2 or 3 times, that your wife, ex-wife, was not someone that was great when it came to closing deals or signing the paperwork. Yet you continued to give her that responsibility.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm telling you. That's what, because you asked me what I did right and what I did wrong. What I did
You didn't listen to your own boundaries or like delegate differently.
I didn't.
My partner isn't the best at this. Don't keep doing it.
I know. And I should have, just, I mean, we had assistance. It still
wouldn't have worked out. Even if you had gone back in time and done everything right, it still wouldn't work out.
Right.
It doesn't work that way. I'm saying that because a lot of people can beat themselves up and go, shit, if I did X, Y, and Z, no. Either you would have prolonged it and caused yourself more pain and stayed in something that it ran its course, or it just would have ended faster is the only, it takes what it takes. But no, I need to say that. That's like, it's never shit if I did X, Y, and Z.
I just think that, like earlier, and I would say this, I would give this advice to anybody working in business with their partner. I mean, you can be in business with your partner.
Yes.
But your partner, in my opinion, the partner that's not actively building the business, that the job of that partner to me is just to be a cheerleader, right? It's like, honey, you're a fucking badass. I appreciate you, everything you've given our family. You're awesome, and I love my life, and great job closing that sale. And then I give it to somebody else, right? I give that sale to somebody else, because if I count on her and she messes it up, we're in trouble.
But you did say too, this is part of your childhood thing. We talked about it last time, where it's like you've been someone that's had a lot of people that have let you down and not shown up.
That's it. That
was the wound to heal.
And I'm one of those people that I give like not just 3 chances, I give like 300 chances. You know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people, because I think you mentioned it a little bit. Sometimes you do that too. Like sometimes I'm like, because I love people. I love fucking people. You know what I'm saying? I love people. Right.
Freudian slip. No.
Freudian slip. So I love people. You know,
Same.
I have this. It's from God. It's divine. It's in me. It's in my DNA. I'm like, because I want to see the best in people. And you know what? I learned really from my mentor right there. He used to always say that, you know, yes, they're going to let you down. Yes, they're going to make you mad. Yes, but you got to love them anyways, right? You got to love them, and that was ingrained in me, in my brain since I was 21. And so I was like, you took
that one too literally. I did the same thing. They forgot the rest of it, which was some people you love from a distance.
Yeah. And I did that even in business though, Natalie. Even like, I look back and I think that my business would be 5 times the size right now had I stopped giving people so many chances and said, look, I love you, but you're a flake. I can't deal with you. Come back when you're ready to show up. You know, that would have changed everything for me, I think, you know? So anyways, I'm done.
I love this. So, okay, just so everyone knows too, for anyone's new, I do coach a lot of this and processing emotions, stuff like that. I just came out with my first online program. Finally, everyone's been asking for it. How to get the girl. It does work for women too. It really applies the same. However, this one I got for the guys, how to get the girl. I also have a free ebook called How to Get the Girl, the 10-step method to attract and keep quality women. So if you want a copy of the free ebook, if you want more information on the online program, I teach exactly how to do this, how to set boundaries with people so that you're not getting fucked over anymore and you're not picking the wrong women and the wrong partners. Because who you pick as a partnership can either up level you or you can wind up having to learn another lesson. Either way, it's great, but we can get through some lessons. So DM me the word date. I'll send you a link for the free ebook, more information on the online program. But I wanted to get back to this too. I just wanted to say that. So follow me, DM me. I'll send that. DM me. I'm at Natalie Stavola. So follow me and then DM me date, and I'll send you that. I'll probably ask you to make sure, because I have a 90-day transformational program too. That's my private one-on-one. So if you send me the word date, I might forget and think that you're wanting to learn about my transformational program. So just let me know it's the how to get the girl. You know, you can DM me that. DM me how to get the girl. Either one, I'll give you this shit. So what you're saying, I love, because I don't regret the past, nor wish to shut the door on it. I don't regret the past because it's made us who we are today. But there was, right? This year, I finally had to grieve because, so I'm 6 years clean and sober. We talked about this. I'm a big filmmaker. I've been involved in filmmaking. When you were 21, you had that person that told you, oh, you're never going to make it. You got to stay in school. That's never going to apply to you. And that pushed you to be like, I'm doing this. Sure. I had someone in college because I knew I was going to be an actor for a long time. Now I'm a full-on filmmaker. I'm a producer, actor, writer. Stepping into directing shortly here too, but I love producing and I love acting and writing too. The whole thing, the creative side of it and anyway. When I was not allowed to be an actor though, that wasn't allowed in my family, mostly because they wanted to protect me and they didn't want to see their broke daughter who's smart, and was getting good grades, who was drinking a lot, but was getting good grades. And has a problem with authority. And
right. Totally,
oh, you couldn't tell me anything. I was getting a 3.9 GPA and I was doing whatever and getting into everyone. I was like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm gonna do whatever. Oh, I was so mad.
You're
Trauma.
So lucky.
I love my path. So I came out of the closet and was like, I want to be an actor. And then my family was like, no. And so I went and studied psychology because Tom Cruise studied psychology, because Ashley Judd studied psychology. So I thought, okay, it's very similar human behavior. Now, what happened was in college, when I finally graduated, I was sitting next to someone and they said, now that we're graduating, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And I looked at her, and for the first time I had this, because I was brought up where my confidence was shattered. I had no self-esteem. I had no self-respect. I didn't know how. I was taught that people pleasing was my only way of safety and survival, that I had to make sure that you're okay so that I would be safe, and get out of scrappy situations and, learn how to hustle and survive. I did learn that your survival mindset is not it has to adjust and change. That helps you to survive, but it's not going to help you thrive. So mindset shifts, mindset changes, feeling your body safe again, doing safety, abundance anyway. So I looked right at my friend at this bar, and she was like, what are you going to do with the rest of your life? And I told her, I'm going to finally do what my soul has been wanting me to do this whole time. I'm going to dive into filmmaking. I'm going to be an actor. And she was like, I hope you have a backup plan. And I went, and and now I know that was her wound getting projected. But luckily for me, I had two people in my life at that time, only two, that fully believed in me. My boyfriend at the time, where he was in real estate, and I would empower him because I would go to the seminars with him. And I did that too. I realized, because we were going to be partners, but I actually knew that I did not know stocks. I didn't understand stocks. And he was a brilliant mind. He was double major real estate and finance. Oh my God, he geeked out and he's great. But I didn't understand it. So when I would go to the seminars, I'd be like, hey, I can't help you here because I don't know what they're talking about, but I'll be by your side. I see how good you are in this. You are a real estate developer. Do it. I helped him, push him to go, do that. That's exactly what lights up your heart. You got this. And he started studying all the books and doing this and learning about Warren Buffett is one of my favorites. And so, but I got to support that and be like, I was like, let's find out what my strengths are and you can use those. And I'm happy to give that to the team. But I know right now that my weaknesses are, I don't understand any of this. But if you need a closer, if you need someone on your side, if you need someone going to these events with you and just being, enigmatic, I'm here, I've got you. So we did learn that, but I learned, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. So diving into filmmaking, drugs and alcohol took over, and which is part of my journey because I've gotten to help a lot of people through addiction now because of it. I didn't know that it's a disease and that it's something that like took me out, even though I wanted to show up. I wanted to show up for my family and I couldn't. I wanted to show up for work and I couldn't. It had to get to the point where I was in so much pain where I went, someone tell me what to do because I'm trying and I'm literally doing the opposite against my own will and I'm fucking scared. I was scared and it had to take what it took because I just wouldn't have otherwise, because I meant what I said when I was gonna, my apologies. I meant my apologies before I got sober. I didn't know that my pain and my programming and my trauma was ruling everything. So this year, I tried to be, I jumped back into filmmaking when I got sober, but I really needed to heal. Then 2020 happened, then we've got the strike. And what happened was I really needed to take a look at my trauma first and heal that so that I was able to show up more fully and not like go deep into the art and then, you know what I mean? Like pull up something that I'm like, uh-oh. So what was happening is that I was still in survival mode when it came to filmmaking because it matters to my heart. So I was reactionary in filmmaking. I was like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this, which is a push away energy instead of a receiving energy, which is I know my worth. I'm going to see what I say yes to. I'm going to pause on my emotions because I was getting triggered and emotionally reacting. And it wasn't bad. It was just that I was emotionally reacting out of the hustle mindset. So I was attaching myself to toxic people in the industry. I was saying yes to people that honestly I shouldn't have been around, and those projects would go nowhere. They'd wind up on the floor. So anyone in your career processing your emotions is going to help you with identifying who is a solid no because it's going to destroy your company or not go anywhere or be a flop or whatever, and who you say yes to because you're like, I feel creative here, I feel safe here, I feel aligned here. It's really important. We're going from survival mode to abundance mindset. And thanking the survival mode. That survival mindset I had, I'm alive today because of it. I should have been dead 1,000 times, honestly. All right, about like 27 if I'm honest. So now what happened is I'm grieved this year the amount of time I lost because I had addiction ruling me, trauma ruling me. I was in abusive relationships, toxic relationships I had to heal from. It's made me an effective person today because there's a lot that I've gotten to go through that I go, oh, you're going through that? Yeah. Which one did you try? That? Oh, yeah, that doesn't work. Do this, calm them up.
Let me just say something. I want to jump in real quick because what this is powerful stuff. I mean, what you're saying, I mean, agree with you 100%. What's amazing though to me though, you know, looking back at my journey, just trying to, and we talked a little bit about this earlier about the whole finding a mentor, finding a coach. And so if people are on here right now, David, thanks for getting on. Lynn, thanks for getting on. Man,
Hi,
so many awesome people. Like people just have nonstop just been getting on this entire time.
I know.
It's so much
very
fun,
grateful
right?
for everyone.
It's very, very grateful for all of you being here with us. But I just want to hopefully appeal to everybody that's been on and that has spent your time with us today that like, you got to reach out to Natalie, right? If you're having some issues or challenges or rocky situations, or you're going through trauma, you're trying to get rid of the damn trauma, because we're all fucked up in some way or another, right?
Yes.
And like you said, right? Like you said, even like I look at, you know, my life, I mean, you know, I have a lot of stuff to unpack as a child. I mean, I was left on the corner to get picked up from my father, and he'd leave me out there, and I'm waiting. And so of course I got to get past the fact that like when people let me down, like I just need to let it go. Like who cares if they let me down? I got to let it go. And I got to
honor that you
start
care.
choosing.
Yeah.
I got to honor that but I got to start choosing people that they really want to show up for me, you know? Like,
yes.
And I think that's what it is. Like I'm sometimes I'm around people that they just don't give a fuck about me. So I can't stress about it, right? I can't let that affect my inner peace.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be like, okay, cool. You know, this is the way that they're showing up for me.
Yes.
So
which
Hey,
is an
that's okay.
indicator of their own childhood. That's an
That's it.
indicator of where they're wounded. And
But
that way we
instead of
have
me
boundaries
trying,
that go, I'm not willing to take on your wounds because they fuck up my wounds.
that's it. That's it. And I can't, I'm just not okay with certain behaviors. And okay, I just move on, right? And then life is about, I think it's just chapters, man. It's like, it's
Yes.
pages in a book, you know, you just
Yeah.
keep getting better. I've been obsessed with self-improvement my entire life. I mean,
Same.
I went to my first Anthony Robbins seminar at 21 years old.
Really?
Radically changed my life.
Yeah.
I've been probably 5, 6 times. I mean, but I think that those, because I've self-improved through the years, I'm
Yep.
able to mentally get through more things. I'm not perfect. By no means am I perfect.
Same.
But man, I mean, it is like, I think it's alux.com. I was watching it when I was on the stair thing this morning, you know, and I'm watching alux.com.
Okay.
And there's a brand new video out, and it's called Mentally Tough, right? Like, how do you know if you're mentally tough? And it's so good. It's so good. Like, you
From
can
the
really,
bullshit you've been through?
yeah,
Fuck.
to kind of know that there's a difference, though. There's a difference in successful people. People that are
There
not
is.
successful, they're always the victim. It's always everybody's fault. It's never their fault. They can never take responsibility. They never take accountability for anything they do. And this is a pattern in their life. So for me personally, not that I'm perfect, I pride myself in the fact that, I mean, I'm pretty mentally tough throughout everything that's happened. I've allowed the compartmentalization to work for me.
Yeah.
You know, instead of getting flustered, I could say, okay, I'm going to stick this in a little box over here, and then I'll get back to that later, right?
Yeah.
And not screw up what I'm doing right now. If my dog died right now, I know there's a lot of pet lovers, but if my dog was sick right now, I still have to do what I have to do with you right now. You know, I'm still with you.
Right.
I'm still focused on you. I will get to it, you know. There's certain things in life as entrepreneurs, as business owners, as coaches, as whoever, you got to be mentally tough to get past all the shit that you're going to do. Think about it, right?
Uh-huh.
So anyways, go ahead.
I'm going to add to this.
I know you got something big. I know.
Because I saw someone say it too. And by the way, hey, Nelson, I see you. He said, I'm glad I did my work when I did the self-healing. Natalie, I hope my friend is watching.
Awesome. That's
Send
awesome.
Okay. One person said, like, that's been me. People don't give a fuck about me yet expect me to give a fuck about them. I've been stuck. Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. This is where I geek out. Now, for someone like me, I would say that, like, I've been made to be tough. I'm a soft heart, but, like, I've definitely, like, I'm tough as shit. However, I actually had the opposite as you, where, like, part of my journey was when something happened, it would actually knock me out. And it would, like, let's say a terrible relationship or something toxic happened or someone died or whatever. It would actually, I wasn't able to compartmentalize because I felt so much and I didn't know what to do with it. Now, in both circumstances and in both cases, this is what happened. I was also taught to shut things down and push things down. What happens is that if you push things down, or if you're overly dumping your shit, either way is the same coin, like I talked about earlier, just opposite sides. I am experiencing emotions. I'm either over dumping it because I don't know what the fuck to do with it, or I'm shutting it down because I don't know what the fuck to do with it. Either way, you will repeat your pattern over and over and over again, or sabotage, because you have emotions and there's a reason for them. So for instance, if you are around people that you notice don't give a fuck about you, or if you constantly get into toxic situations, or if you have emotions but you just have to compartmentalize it and you've had to shove things down for a long time, where the fuck do you think those emotions are going to go? You push them down, you push them down, you push them down, you push them down, and then you're going to jack in the box, explode on someone. Or implode on yourself and fuck up your own life. You're either going to explode or implode. I was an imploder. You might have been an exploder or whatever. I don't know. So here's the trick. The fastest way is through. That which I don't handle is gonna be repeated until I fucking handle it. So if you are noticing that you keep getting around people that don't show up for you, that don't give a fuck about you, instead of acting like, well, I don't care, I shouldn't care, fuck this anyway, I don't give a fuck. No, you do give a fuck. You give many fucks. Like, why? Do not lie to yourself. Number one is be honest. Hey, that affects me. I don't like it and I don't deserve it. And it does hurt. Now, if I do have something going on right now, like this or whatever, okay, at 7 p.m., I'll have time to process this right now. So you honor yourself. If I want someone to honor me, I do it first. If I want others to treat me that way, if I want honor, respect, nurturing, whatever, I do it first. That way I'll attract in, and game will recognize game. I'll see in me that which I'm giving to myself. So I compartmentalize. I go, can't do that till 7. But when 7 comes around, I sit with it and I go, damn, this seems to be a repeat pattern that I'm getting with people who are either broken inside, don't show up for me, don't give a fuck about me. And you know what? To be honest, it really fucking sucks. It doesn't feel good. Or I wind up having to shove things down and just have to fucking take things. And I don't like it. Okay, what's going on here? Why is this? And you get pen to paper because that helps you access your subconscious. And you're like, where is this coming from? Where's the first time that I experienced it? Mom, dad did this, dad left me at the bus stop, this is the reason why I keep repeating it, because I still feel this way. I still feel like I'm not good enough for people to show up for me. So where in my life am I not showing up for myself? Where am I not establishing boundaries? So let me write this down on my boundaries now. Moving forward, I will give someone 2 chances, but if they show me that they cannot show up for me, or if someone shows up and is disrespectful, dismissive, avoidant, emotionally unavailable, if they project their wounds on me and won't listen, if they're manipulating, if they are gaslighting, I now have a list of boundaries based on my wounds, based on my core values, based on my life, that now moving forward, when I feel it, when I experience it, I'm going to listen to it, I'm going to allow it to come up, and I'm going to either set a boundary, or I'm going to go, hey, listen, when you don't show up for me, it really hurts. It makes me feel like I'm not worthy of being cared for. I'm not worthy of being considered. And I know that's not the case, but moving forward, like, I can't have this in my life. So I will give one more chance on this, but this is something that is really important to me. If I feel like I'm getting disrespected and dismissed, my time's not being valued, or, I'm getting cussed at again, I have to walk away. And you do that. And so the next time you feel that trigger inside, you go, oh, wait, here's that trigger again. Someone's not showing up for me. In the past, I've always attached to that person and tried to prove myself to that person. Moving forward now, but I know that's a boundary. So now when someone doesn't give a fuck, I acknowledge that I don't like that. That helps me to now move with the contrary action instead of moving with the attachment. Honor that. So
big deal. Hey, everybody.
Okay.
September 11th, you're probably wondering what September 11th, 11 a.m. means. I'm doing an event with some of the smartest people I know. As a matter of fact, Kevin was on a little bit earlier. This guy makes millions of dollars per year, literally, from his computer, okay? Millions of dollars from
Hold
his
up,
computer.
I'm signing up.
He's literally with his family. I don't know if they're still out there, but he's with his family in his RV. Literally, they drive around in their RV. I mean, they live out here in Southern California, but they're driving out with in their RV, going doing all these fun things and camping and hanging out. And I think his kids riding in the dunes or something like that. And he's making
ATVs.
millions. Yeah, ATVs, okay. Or I think the little cars though out there too. But anyways, I mean, and he's doing it all from his computer. He can work for wherever he wants. And this guy is going to be in Newport Beach on Friday, September 8th, 11 a.m. He's going to teach some simple little things. And by the way, I know this myself because I trade as well. I do trade options, and I've made a lot of money doing it. So I'm doing it myself. He's one of my coaches. He's one of the guys that have taught me a lot. And but the reason why I mention this is because a lot of people, especially some people that might be that might be on that know me, Natalie, they know me as a financial guy that I talk about mutual funds or retirement accounts and things like that, which all of those are great. I have mutual funds, I have retirement accounts, I have annuities, I have these type of things, but trading, options is different.
Yeah.
Trading options is a different way of making money. And it is one of the most secure ways that I've been able to make money in all of my years. Fucking awesome. Okay. And so he's going to be there live. I mean, and by the way, there's only 40 spots. There's only 40 seats available. They're almost gone, and people can check that out. They can DM me. The link is in the bio. In my link, one of the links in my bio, it says September 8th, and people can sign up there. But do it right away. And but yeah, thank you so much, Nikinya. Appreciate you getting on.
Is this online at all too, or is this going to be something that they can, they have to be in person? Oh, good. This life is great. I just asked.
Yeah, I believe that there is a link for. I'm not the one setting up. I didn't set up the whole process of
I'll get it from you.
Of what link or whatever. But yeah, it might be online too. I think you can access a Zoom link as well. So yeah, no, it's going to be awesome. But if anybody has any questions, man, just DM me. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation.
I'm going to be DMing you. I don't know what trading options is.
I swear to you, I'm not even playing. And again, I'm not selling options. I'm not selling anything there. I'm not.
It's just one of those things where like you gotta buy you gotta go to the event and like sit in there for the what is it, the timeshare? This is a timeshare shit,
we're gonna sell you timeshares. Absolutely. I love it. And so it's gonna be and the cool thing about it too is we're gonna do networking. There's lunches included, and also we're gonna do networking afterwards. Everybody's gonna get together and hang out. There's all kinds of, really beautiful places at this location. There's beautiful places to hang out and sit down, and the weather is, oh my God, I'm sitting right here right now, and the breeze is coming through these big windows here, and it's awesome. And I just wanted to make sure that people knew about it, Natalie, because I think that a lot of relationships, and we know this already, years and years of understanding relationships, money has a lot to do with it. People they can't think properly when they're stressed out about money. And so let's get people rich, okay, or at least to where they're financially free, right?
I am all about it. I don't care where you've come from, what you have to overcome, what you've done. You deserve to be successful. And by the way, just to get a woman, I do get a lot of clients that are like, oh, just to get women, you have to have a bunch of money. No, there is. Okay, guys, just so you know, first of all, you constantly see women date losers all the time, like beautiful women. Everyone's got their own.
I just posted it. I think you just saw it on my.
Did I? Yeah.
Who's that guy?
Oh yeah.
Who's that guy that gets all those hot chicks?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Like,
that actor or something? I can't remember his name. But
so the other thing is this though. There is no correlation between money and happiness after you at least have enough to meet your basic needs. After that, therapy can buy, or money can buy you therapy and can buy you a coach and all that kind of stuff, but the main thing is that, yes, as long as but what's happening a lot is a lot of people are struggling to financially provide for themselves and others. And if you have like one thing, like one hospital bill, that takes out that's $40,000 gone out the drain. So I'm big on that too. I'm big on unblocking people. It's why I connected with you when it came to wealth and stuff. Like I wanted to be able to give that to people too. Like unblocking in career, unblocking in money, unblocking in wealth, because a lot of times with money, the energetic behind money is in your worth. And oftentimes when you don't feel worthy, you'll watch yourself sabotage, spend money in areas, say no to things that you should be saying yes to, and you'll watch it happen in relationships. So relationships are a mirror to unblocking in money as well too. Where am I not feeling worthy? Where am I saying no? Where am I not comfortable with receiving compliments, money, upgrades, life, beautiful things? Where am I shrinking myself, not stepping into my worth, not, walking out of the house feeling like I love what I'm wearing, I love who I am, I'm here, I provide, I'm of service, and I receive. So thank you. And I really did. I wanted to give people that opportunity to go, you are allowed to be successful no matter what. There's mindset shifts, there's learning about it, there's learning your worth, and like anything is possible. There is plenty of money all around. We see it all the time. You can access that money. You can, there doesn't have to be the wage gap anymore. So
unbelievable. Well,
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say.
I think
This is like a marathon. This is a marathon conversation.
for real.
I am so jacked right now. I'm so happy that we did this. And one of the things I was thinking about is we need to figure out a way to kind of talk about relationships and money, like in a little conference, or like the next time I do something I want to put together. But I'm thinking, like, we don't have a relationship coach there on, on Friday, you know what I mean? And so one of these days we need to figure out how to put something together, or let me know if you have ideas. And because I think relationships and money, they go hand in hand. I mean, if you're messed up money wise, it's really hard to get the relationships right,
I'm definitely happy to be of service in that area. So I'm doing a talk tomorrow night, for instance, on how relationships are blocking your success. So I do these kind of talks as well, where I'm like, in order to up level, your next up level, the answers are literally in the relationships around you. Who you are getting attached to, what are you getting attracted to, and what the limiting beliefs are going on in the voices in your head saying inside. That's the answer, and the key is right in there of exactly how to up level in career and money and success and relationships, all of it. So get with a coach, contact one of us. If you don't vibe with us, there's 1,000 people who know this information.
Totally.
Make sure. Totally. And then I will say that sometimes I used to get scared because there are manipulative coaches out there. There are people out there that are just trying to get your money. Sometimes it happens where you will accidentally get with people who are manipulators. I get it. And I used to get really nervous about that. But you know what? Sometimes for me, I've had to learn who was a manipulator. So that way, like someone like who I have a coach now too. I have a couple coaches. I know now, like, they believe in me and they're up leveling me because I know what the opposite feels like. So just so you guys know, sometimes you're going to make mistakes. You're going to get around the wrong people. I get it. It's because when you do get around the right people, you'll feel it a lot faster. Totally. So get with someone that can help you with unblocking yourself, up leveling, with like crushing your limiting beliefs. That's mindset shifts are really huge, going from survival mindset to abundance mindset. If you're in town, or actually fly out September 8th, 11 a.m., Newport Beach, learn how to make $1 million in this climate, because I actually do believe that it's so possible.
It's so doable. It's so doable. Hey, Natalie, thank you so much, man. I love that we got to connect today. If there's anything I can ever do for you, please reach out anytime. And thank you again. Appreciate you.
Thanks for jumping on. I didn't think that we would do 2 hours, but this is amazing. I know we should anyone who watches this one, take note. There's a lot. We gave a lot.
We might need to do a couple more podcasts, man. So, but seriously, like we could do one, like bring a couple of other people, and we could do a podcast and really have lots of different angles of relationships, money. Whatever, we bring it all in. So
I'm big on public speaking now. I've been making the shift from like private 101s to do more like the one-to-many, because I know you feel the same way, of being able to give this information to as many people as possible. So like events and boot camps and things like that. So I'm down.
Make sure you save this live and repost it, okay?
We'll be doing that. Yeah.
So somebody just reminded us right now. So
yes, I will be reposting
Lucia.
this.
Okay, yes. Awesome.
Okay.
You rock.
You guys have a great Labor Day. This was our Labor Day gift to everyone.
Thanks for hanging. This is great.
I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers.
Bye.